I was just talking to Governor Ventura. He might come in studio with us. I've already had him down in Austin once. Great guy. When he's driving down I-35 in his RV in September or October to go down to Mexico. And Jesse, you were telling me you got a new T-shirt.
Well, that's enough information, Alex. The listeners don't need to know no more than that.
Oh, your new secret?
No, my new T-shirt that I wear now, it says, I got it down in the Baja, it says, won't work for anything. and
won't work for anything.
That's the lifestyle I'm living now. I won't work for anything. There's nothing that I can be offered that would require me to go to work and inspire me to do so. But there's a positive for that. Since I don't want to work anymore, that means I won't be taking up a job from somebody who does.
Okay, I've got two more questions for you, and we're going to take calls for the 10 or so minutes we have left with you,
okay.
Governor Ventura, and we appreciate all the time.
Make them easy so I can get to the callers.
Okay, well, no, this is a heavy question, and I was sitting there at the beach with my family this weekend thinking about this interview, and I wrote these notes. What makes, Jesse Ventura tick? But more than that, I was sitting there with the sun setting, with the moon up, watching the Texas coastline, and, I was sitting there thinking, what is this planet? What is the sun, the moon? We're in the middle of the galaxy and the universe, and we're these weird creatures, and we have children, and our lives are so short.
And we're nothing but parasites.
So I wanted to ask you...
think about that, Alex. We give nothing back. We only use.
Well, I think that's what every life form does. You'd see life itself as a parasite. So I wanted to ask...
But wait, we have no parasite that eats us. Except ourselves.
Ourselves, the super predator class. So that was my question. What makes Jesse Ventura tick? What do you think, the end of the universe is? What is this all about?
I don't know, but I will just say this. I feel very fortunate right now that I live in a place half the year where two really ecological systems meet, and that's the ocean and the desert. And that's a very rare thing to be able to see these two meet and see the results of it. And it's a remarkable life to live and watch it and the pace of it, because even though the pace is very slow, it's constantly changing. No day is ever the same, even though they may appear to be. They're not. And that, and right now, I like the solitude of that life, and I like the life of exploring simple things a little bit. I've been caught up all my whole career in front of crowds and in front of, getting name notoriety and becoming quote unquote this and that. And at this point in my life, I strive for a much more solitude, quiet existence.
That's what I've discovered.
Maybe it's called getting old, Alex.
Well, and more than that, it's just experience. It's that hierarchy of needs. You've gotten fame and fortune and notoriety and been well known and are more well known today than ever. And so you don't need it as much. And in my own little small way, I sure wanted to be successful and sure wanted to be the big radio host. And now that people know me everywhere I go, even other countries, and I can't imagine, as much fame as you've got, in a way it's a blessing, but it's also a curse. So I actually constantly wanderlust about, I wish I could go get lost on some forgotten seashore. But then I feel sorry.
Well, the point is, Alex, you just have to do it. When you decide to make the move, which I did after teaching at Harvard, I just felt, the window of opportunity of adventure is closing on me because of Father Time. You always remember that as an athlete, there's one opponent you'll never beat in the end, and that is time, no matter how great we all were and are.
Time, the great avenger.
And so for me, it's a matter of just, you have to make a choice at some point, like I did, and go off on this adventure. And that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm not letting anything get in the way. And when I'm down there, I don't even pay attention to a lot of the things. When I'm down there, I never hear the word terrorism. It's weird. And yet when I come back to this country, not a day goes by that you don't hear that word.
Well, that's clearly being used to control us.
Well, it's also creates a lifestyle of fear.
Yeah.
And the life that I lead, believe it or not, down deep in Mexico is a lifestyle of total unfear. And there really is the only fear is that you might get hit by a hurricane.
What do the locals think while coming stomping out of the dooms is Jesse Ventura?
They don't know me from anyone. I'm just a big gringo that can't speak good Spanish. That's all they know out of me because, I don't dress, in any provocative way when I'm down there. I wear old blue jeans and T-shirts, and I'm barefoot as much as I possibly can be. And so I gain that freedom down there. Even when I go to town, there's no one there in town that ever recognizes me. I guess they don't watch Larry King and that stuff down there. So,
but you're a character anywhere. I mean, you would draw attention anywhere just because.
No, not really. Only because of the physical presence, and many times I'm told, even by tourists that I run into down there, is that they don't recognize me till I speak. So if I keep my big mouth shut, I can tend to stay anonymous a little bit.
You know what it is? I think the image of you with the shaved head and the mustache is the more iconic one from the governor, and it's probably the long hair.
It might be. Wait till I go back to the dreadlocks and the beard again. I rode my motorcycle that whole summer and was never once recognized on it all through Minnesota, where I'd been governor a mere couple years before.
Sounds good to me. Let's talk
In fact, the only thing they were doing were people were locking their doors at the stoplights. Because they thought I looked so sinister.
Well, hey, you are a member of one of the more tough guy, sinister biking clubs, aren't you?
Well, I used to be years and years ago. I left in 1975. I was part of the Black and White, which is the Mongols. And we carry a bit of a reputation. But that was just another life that I decided when I came out of the Navy to try it out for a while.
Another adventure.
Another adventure, absolutely. What's life without adventures, I don't want Alex get to 75 and say woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I agree with you, absolutely. That's why we love you.
You got to live life and go out there and experience things.
We're going to jam a few more calls in quickly, callers.
Absolutely.
Mark in Oregon, go ahead. You're on the air with Jesse Ventura. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello, Alex. Hello, Governor Ventura.
Hi, Mark.
Governor, I have respect for you, and please don't think I don't. But, I've been listening to this advertisement for the Obama deception film that Alex has made for some months now because Alex plays it regularly.
Okay, but listen, caller. I'm just listen. I'm going to put you on hold because it's about another film, and I don't want to get off into other stuff right now. Here on the air, I want to just hurry through these calls. Okay, Mark.
I don't know the film, so I don't know.
Yeah. Let's go to Mark in Pennsylvania. Mark in Pennsylvania, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Mark.
Hello. I'm very honored to be part of the show today. Thank you very much, Mr. Ventura, for being a patriot and for being a guardian of the principles and ideas that this country was founded upon.
Well, I just like my freedom. I like to do what I like to do and be uninhibited doing it.
I have a couple of comments and then a question. I saw the interview that you had on that girl show during the daytime, and I would encourage you to challenge these commentators, these people, these hosts of these shows that put their money where their mouth is. It's just as point blank as that.
Yeah, you've got these little soft ninnies who've never lived anything, and they're saying torture people. It's so decadent and evil, Jesse.
Well, you got to remember too, though, you can't go on the shows and be a bull moose and a bull in the china shop, or you'll never get invited back either. You can take a firm stand, but you've got to be cordial. You got to play the game a little bit because you can't just go in there. The only person I do that with is Hannity.
Okay, got to jump. Thank you, Mark. Solomon in Brazil. Quick question or comment?
Good afternoon. Greetings, Brother Jones. I just want to let you know also that we internationally, we pay for the phone call. So I was waiting for you patiently because I really like to interact with Brother Ventura. Thank you very much, Brother Ventura, for your courage to speak out about some topics that no other retired military has spoken before. I would like to make a comment and a short question to you. You, as I, are familiar with the expression, once a Marine, always a Marine. That is almost the same like once a military, always a military. Over here, like in other places around the world with dictatorship, they say that the difference between a civilian and a military is that a civilian almost ever can be militarized, while a military almost never can be civilized. My question is, how can I trust a former military will embrace their brothers and sisters in civilian life once retired If
Okay,
military,
look, I get the
despite-
question. I got to let you go because we only got